Hey everybody, this is Flippy here and welcome to The Problematic Career of Gabbie Hanna.
Like, I'm not fucking crazy.
Okay, so a couple things just before I start this video. There's a YouTube video which kind of helped me put together this video from their video, just kind of condense everything down and put it all into my video, because honestly when it came to Gabbie Hanna I had no idea where to start, because I knew things about them but I didn't know much about them, and they've had so many controversies and stuff, so I just, so their video to the whole thing will be linked in the description below, so go like their video as well. Hopefully after you've watched this video, please stay. But with that, please like and subscribe, because this video is taken a lot of effort, and let's go. Gabbie Hanna's career started off on Vine, making short comedic sketches, kind of easy to digest content. And although she was performing well on the platform, she had never innovatized. It was all stuff that was already doing well on a platform. I guess it could kind of be like TikTok. You've got TikTokers who make their own content, things that no one else is doing, and then you've got the people who then copy it once they see it blows up. I guess you could put her down to being like that. The thing to also note about her Vine career is that a lot of the content she would make was deemed quite offensive.
I love running through black neighborhoods with my shirt off. I'm gonna steal all of your baby daddies.
Before Vine shut down, she had gathered a total of around 5 million followers before obviously the platform died and she transitioned to YouTube, where she would make storytime content, and thankfully didn't stick to those kind of comedy sketches and stuff she did on Vine, because I mean certain YouTubers did, and you can see where it's ended them. Lele Pons. But this takes us into the first bit of controversy for Gabbie Hanna. During her uprise, it turns out that a lot of the jokes she was making during her early Vine career, and even sometimes on YouTube, turned out to be stolen. Gabbie Hanna's content started taking off. The storytime format was doing well for her. Obviously, this was already doing popular on her platform, so this is just another thing that she's seen and started doing. It was clear that these story times were aimed at a younger audience, kind of preteen girls and teenage girls and that. It was kind of aimed at them. It was content they could relate to, and it was also easy to digest, extremely dramatic and extremely energetic. Now, the first time I personally heard of Gabbie Hanna was during one of her controversies, being the ricegum controversy, which was, I think, like the first big controversy that she kind of got into. And to be fair, she didn't look too bad in this controversy. It was bad on both sides for this, but we'll get into this. So to put this situation shortly, they're both at a party with each other. Ricegum's at a party, Gabbie Hanna's at a party. For some reason, she goes up to him and tries to get him on snap video, kind of being in his face a bit, and just kind of being kind of obnoxious. And when he said, no, I'm not really trying to be in a video or whatever, she kept going, and eventually, from what's been said, he took the phone and threw it basically and broke her phone. And although in this situation nobody was in the right at all, like Ricegum shouldn't have thrown the phone, it does look bad on him. Like, as you'll see in these future controversies I also talk about, it seems like a pattern that Gabbie Hanna is annoying people. So to sum up another controversy that happened with Gabbie around this time, a YouTuber called Dominic Denangelas, I'm sorry, I've scuffed that name completely. Anyway, Dominic was featured on another YouTuber's video where basically they played a game of Smash or Pass, and Gabbie Hanna came up in this video and really respectfully declined.
Fuck it.
The Gabbie Show.
The Gabbie Show?
Yeah.
Pass. What would you pass on Gabbie? not my type, man. Shit.
You know, you can see it in the clip, like, he's being really respectful about it, to be fair, and people can have their opinion on who they're attracted to and who they're not. And then she ended up meeting him at a party, and she filmed a video with him on her phone, trying to talk to him about it at a party, and then just started taking a piss out of his physical appearance, calling him short and shit, and saying, oh, I wouldn't date you anyway, and whatever, when literally all he did was really respectfully decline, and she's now taking a piss out of his physical appearance and stuff.
So you passed me.
I did.
So you mean to tell me that if tonight we got a little bit drunk and I was like, hey, I'm really interested in you, you think you're out of my league?
I don't say you're out of my league. No.
But you would pass.
Honestly, I'll do anything when I'm drunk.
Just when you're drunk?
No.
Is it the fact that I'm 3 inches taller than you? Is that the reason you're a little intimidated? Is that why you're going fast?
Yeah.
So I think we all know that if Dom had a chance to fuck, Dom would fuck. Right? Dom would fuck. Dom would fuck.
Maybe.
Yo, it's fine. Nobody on my vlog channel knows who you are.
So after Dominic walked away, he tweeted about the situation, and Gabbie Hanna responded with a video basically calling him misogynistic and stuff, and blaming the whole situation on him. Where you can see in the video, it's pretty much all her. Like, this was a really early sign of, I think, what was to come in the future. And I feel like it was because of this situation and the ricegum controversy that people started to look at Gabbie Hanna a bit differently to how she was looked at before. And this feels like it should be a bigger thing, but it's also worth a mention that Gabbie Hanna doxed a kid after the kid made like a compilation showing like all the time she's stolen jokes. She doxed a kid, she admitted to stalking the kid for years, and getting his full name, his parents' name, his address, the school he goes to. Like, really creepy.
Was the Louis C.K. one, and like as soon as I saw it I was like, fuck, I've definitely heard that before. And then right away I was like, fuck, you're right. Turned into a huge fucking scandal. So years later I went a little bit crazy. So I DM'd the kid because I wanted to do an interview with him and be like, hey, why did you do this? Because so many of them were such a fucking stretch. So years later I find the guy, and then I may have found his full legal name and address and his parents' name and where he went to school. But that's only because like I wanted to know why somebody did this. Like, dead ass, I was like, I just wanted to know like why he did it. Like, why did he target me out of all of the other influencers who, like, don't get me wrong, I was a hack.
So after all this kind of stuff's been happening, this is where Gabbie Hanna starts to take a different direction in her channel, in her career, and all this stuff. She starts, you know, releasing music like it seems every successful YouTuber does these days. So she released a song called Out Loud in 2017, which the internet actually took like really well. It's a decent song. And she proceeded to drop 2 more songs in 2018, including the release of a song called Monster.
Work out, and it's not your fault and it's not my fault. It's both of us together. That just doesn't work. So what if I'm the monster?
I'm semi, I stay automatic. Money add then multiply. I call it mathematics.
So since Gabbie Hanna's, you know, music was starting to be received well, she figured she could convert her channel fully to the music stuff. Like, she thought she could just go, musician now, that's all I am. And as we'll talk about a bit later, this didn't go well for her. Things only started getting worse for Gabbie Hanna when a meme hit of her genius breakdown for her song Monster. That meme is ingrained in my head.
So what if I'm the monster that's been here all along?
And people just started basically ripping into her music skill and stuff like that because of this interview, because it sounds, in particular that part where she's like, monster, like, it just sounds a bit bad. And I remember literally all I would see in my Instagram feed and YouTube feed for weeks was that clip, and it didn't help out her kind of music career at all. So Gabbie Hanna then came out with a video trying to blame Genius for how it sounded in that, saying it was stuff to do with the audio and stuff, but this has never happened on any other Genius interview, so, you know, I don't think it is Genius's fault. But even with her trying to deflect it, the damage was already dealt. So then this is where Gabbie Hanna starts getting into a lot of controversy. Like, so many that I can't cover them all in this video, because this video probably end up being like 5 to 10 hours long. But to give you an example of how shitty of a person she is, she convinced a young teenage audience to get free products from a beauty company, where obviously it isn't free, they're just making them pay high amounts in shipping, which pays the product, pays the shipping, and then the company still get a bit of profit from the amount they paid in shipping. And, you know, convinced the teens this was free, and they're like, oh my god, I need to buy these products, and they arrive, and, well, I say arrive, some of them didn't arrive, they got scammed out of it basically, and the ones that did arrive weren't the quality that was promised. And then Gabbie Hanna started blaming it on her fans. She started saying it was the fans' fault for falling for the marketing technique, and she basically put all the blame on her fans for it. And I don't know how she had any fans after that. And I mean, it's, as we're about to talk about, she didn't for much longer, but you see what I mean. But all this stuff that's happening, Gabbie Hanna is starting to fall deeper and deeper into the pit of irrelevancy. She's losing more and more subs, getting less and less views, and being cut off by her fellow friends in a social media space. Gabbie Hanna tried to release some books during this time, some poetry books, right? Gabbie Hanna, poetry books. And for some fucking reason, like, I don't understand why she would do that. And, you know, surprise, surprise, he wasn't very good, and the internet, and by internet I mean commentary community, started ripping it page by page pretty much. And although the reviews for these books were awful, she was trying to justify the books by how many sales and that the books had done, by how many times she had been a best seller and stuff like that. But it's like, if you bring up numbers in an argument, that argument is immediately invalid, right? It's not a good argument to use when you use numbers. Like, you know, she ended up crying about this a lot because these books meant a lot to her. And, you know, like, I do music, right? So I can understand someone getting upset over being criticised for the things they've worked hard for, things they're passionate about, so book writing, music, all this stuff. I can understand how, because I know how it feels. It's an awful feeling, but the mature thing to do, and the thing that Gabbie Hanna didn't do, is realise that what you've done is subjective, and these people are only giving you advice from their perspective so that you can better it next time. You don't have to take that advice, but at least you know it's there. And I think the best example of someone receiving criticism and responding to it would be a recent situation, which would be the KSI show, you know. KSI made a KSI show for his fans or whatever to say thank you for getting him to where he was, and it released and fans weren't very happy with it. They felt kind of, you know, just cheated out some money. It wasn't as long as they said it was going to be, all this stuff, right? And he made like a 20-minute long video just talking about it, responding to the criticism and taking responsibility. As Gabbie Hanna's relevancy, you know, declined more and more and started losing viewers and subs by the day, and that she started convincing herself that none of this was her fault, none of this was her doing, and it was just YouTube. It was YouTube being against her. YouTube had shadow banned her. And if you don't know what a shadow ban is, it's basically when, I guess the easiest way to explain it is when a creator, and I'm going to put it as claims because there's never any proof, but it's when a creator claims that they've been soft banned in a way from the platform. They're not showing up in search results, they're not showing up in recommended, they're not showing up in sub boxes and that. And they basically blame the downtrend in views and that on the fact that YouTube isn't showing their videos to people, which sometimes there's a lot of evidence to say which, yeah, they might actually be not getting shown to people. There might be a problem here, but there wasn't much with Gabbie Hanna at all. And to be honest, it's more likely with Gabbie Hanna that it's just the amount of controversies, drama, and the fact that she completely changed the theme of her channel that just caused a sudden downtrend, you know, and the loss of interest from her audience. And it's like she couldn't accept her channel was dying because she wasn't changing, she wasn't adapting or nothing. And she seemed to take it really personally. Like, she'd have multiple breakdowns stating how, like, people hate her and stuff, and she just feels hated on the internet and stuff. And while she's right, there are people that hate her, don't get me wrong, you can't just blame the downtrend on that, because you did have fans. The fact is, you know, when people follow you, let's use Instagram theme pages, for example, right? A car page or something on Instagram. When someone follows a car page, they're not following it for the person who runs the page. They're following it to see the content that is posted on the page. They're following for the content. And it's kind of the same with YouTube. You know, there's people who are going to be watching this video who are subscribed to me, but don't actually give a fuck about me in real life. You know, don't give a fuck about how I'm doing and shit. They're just here to see the content and see what's going on, and that's completely fine. I understand that. You know what I mean? We all do it. Every one of us do it subconsciously. We don't watch someone's video and are thinking the whole way through, I wonder how their personal life is, you know what I mean? You're, especially when you're just clicking new videos and recommended, you're clicking to watch what the video is about, to take in the information that's being said and stuff, right? So maybe if she understood that, she'd understand that mixed with her just changing her content and then refusing to change again when she noticed it wasn't doing well and people just started losing interest in what she was putting out, maybe she wouldn't have taken it so personally. But anyway, this is where I'm going to end the video here. So let me know what you think about this down in the comments below. I've worked hard on this video, so a like would be appreciated. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe and turn on bell notifications. It'd be lovely to have you join the channel. And for the probably like 10% who are still watching to this point right now, I love you all, right? Okay, thank you for watching. Goodbye.